I didn't start playing Apex when it was at its all-time hype. I may have played during the weirdest time during Season 4 and 5 on my PS4 and then ended up playing a little bit of Season 8 on my PC. But the game had something that no other Battle Royale had at the time. I was mostly playing games like Rust and CSGO, but Apex had something that no other game had, a complex movement system with B-hops, air movement, and other crazy mechanics. Its time to kill was higher than the common FPS, which just made for a fast-paced skilled shooter, which is something we really haven't seen or something I've really never even played. It just stood out compared to everything. Today we're going to talk about what made Apex this amazing game, why it fell from its roots, to the now growing rise of views and playership. Most people that played Apex when it first launched would say that Season 0 was the game's prime. The viewership and playership does truly show that, but what was the reason for this? What made the game the best at its all time at the very beginning? Well, we'll take a look. The meta at the time was a very fast paced W key era. Most people were using the R301, the Wingman, Peacekeeper, or R99. R301 was an assault rifle that had the ability of just one magging people from small distance, medium distance, and a large distance. And it was just incredibly insane if you were able to master the recoil. R99 was a little bit different. It was a gun that dropped its mag in less than a second or two. You were able to just lay out somebody in half a second because of how fast the gun shot. And then the Wingman, a very skilled revolver that took a lot of time to even master for the best players. And then we had, finally but not least, the Peacekeeper, a shotgun that was known for just destroying people. It was also very slow, so it was a high risk, high reward weapon. But these guns are what made the game super fun and what grappled people to keep playing it at the time. If we take a look about a few seasons later, around season 2, the meta started changing, and this is when we started seeing the viewership of the game go down. What ended up changing? What happened? Well, we had a new character called Watson introduced, and she ended up changing the game's meta completely. From this fast-paced skilled shooter, from everyone taking every fight, trying to prove that they're the best, to now this new camp in a building and play the circle or play rotation. Because Watson had the ability of setting up a fence, electrical fence, which helped you block off doors, and then her ultimate was a pylon that made it impossible to even push her defended buildings with grenades or any other ultimate that relied on throwing. So at the time, Watson dominated the game. Her meta of just staying, playing rotation, changed the game and kind of killed it at the time. A lot of players ended up leaving, the viewership ended up decreasing, the game was just not the same. And to add insult to injury, Respawn wasn't also adding many patches or even game updates that players would be interested in. The content was very slow, besides cosmetics. So most people saw where Respawn's intentions were with the game. They were very money hungry, and they did not care about the viewers or the people that were playing their game. A game at the top, a game that had almost everything that it could want, a game that was almost passing Fortnite in viewership, playership, ended up seeming to be tumbling off its own success. I want to share a couple of clips with you guys that I think are important and that explain what was going on at this time and what really caused the viewership to go down.
I got about 3 games left before I quit this game forever.
Forever?
Forever, I think.
That's what feels bad.
Banana. I'd rather play PUBG,
Whoa.
and that's saying something.
Feel like the state of Apex right now. I saw a really funny clip of you just like really ripping into the
yeah.
devs.
I kind of exaggerated that clip, but that
Yeah.
thing blew up, and I feel bad, but because I mean, like, the devs, like, they're really passionate about Apex, you can tell, but the direction they're taking the game, it's like they just don't listen to the actual people who play the game.
Right.
They really cater towards the casual fan base, and I feel like that's just not the way to take your game, because I mean, if somebody's playing your game for 12 hours a day, they're playing all this competitive stuff, they're gonna know what's wrong with the game. They're gonna know what the game needs. rather than someone who gets home from work, plays like an hour, and then they just get off. And it really feels like they're trying to lower the skill ceiling and just keep on lowering it, and it's just not the way to take the game.
The NRG player couldn't have said it better than I could. The Apex community was pissed, especially the competitive one. Respawn was doing everything they could to undermine them, making the game easier, adding skill-based matchmaking, which no one really even wanted at the time, removing Skulltown, a beloved. RIP, and if you guys do miss and love Skulltown, drop down a like below. Really does show the support and really means that you guys are still here watching the video. But back to what I was saying, I really think that Respawn fucked up here, and that's why the viewership, the playership was dropping. But we did see a change apart from them. We started seeing more frequent updates, legend changes that we thought were better for the game, and new legends, new weapons, a new map, POIs constantly being changed and added to the game. It looked like Respawn was finally in the right direction, redoing the wrongs that they have done. And with the upcoming season legacy, I really think this game has a chance to strive. With the increased ship and viewership on Twitch, maybe because of COVID, or maybe because of the updates, or maybe just a little bit of both, I think Apex is finally coming back from the fall that we've seen it go through, and is on the rise again to the game that once was, and that is once in our hearts. One of the greatest battle royales of all time. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please like, and comment below. Really does mean a lot. Shows that you guys are here. And if you guys do have some time, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/mbr1331. I'm live there if you guys ever want to chat, hang out. If you ever got some questions on rank, just come by and say hi, and I'll do the best I can to answer that. Appreciate everyone coming out. Love y'all. Stay sexy.